King James I by Cody Jenkins. King James I was born into power in 1566 in Scotland and ruled from 1567 to 1625. His mother, Mary Queen of Scots, was forced to abdicate her throne by rival Scottish lords, leading to King James taking the power at only 1 year old. His mother left Scotland in 1568, causing King James to have a fairly isolated childhood. King James was extremely well educated and took great interest in literacy, becoming somewhat of a perfectionist by some accounts. In addition to his native English, King James learned Greek, French, and Latin and read several classical religious texts from his curated library that was made for him. Because King James took the throne so young, he was controlled by several different parties during his early rule. When King James was around 12 years old, his regent, the Earl of Morton, was driven out and control was formally placed in his hands. Despite this, he was still puppeted by many different nobles and faction leaders for many years until he began to pursue his own politics and strengthened relations with England. King James was a strong believer in royal absolutism, likely stemming from his religious education. He firmly believed that he was chosen by God to rule and that no one should challenge him. This led to several conflicts with Parliament, which made many attempts to limit his spending. In response, King James bypassed Parliament and nearly doubled the debt left by the previous Queen of England. When King James ascended to the throne of England, many Catholics hoped he would restore their liberties due to his mother being Catholic. He allowed them select rights if they vowed to take an oath of political obedience. This was enough for most Catholics, but it still left many angry because they expected more. The Catholics that were mad at King James for not immediately restoring Catholic liberties attempted to assassinate the king in the Gunpowder Plot of 1603. They intended to blow up the Parliament building while King James and his family were inside. The plot was discovered before it ever happened. Due to the plot, Catholic rights did not progress further during King James's reign. Despite this, religious relations in England were greatly improved due to his reforms. From 1603 to 1612, King James signed the series of charters that gave the Virginia Company exclusive rights to control and govern the American colony. The Virginia Company set up a government and a system of rule that affected Virginia for many years. King James had an obsession with witches and demons. After his wife, Anne of Denmark, crashed her ship on her sail to Scotland, King James blamed the event on witches and ordered one of the largest hunts in history up to that point. He executed no fewer than 70 women who were suspected of witchcraft. A majority of these women were made to confess under torture. In 1597, King James wrote Demonology, in the face of skeptics of witchcraft. The book, in King James's opinion, defines how demons and witches have affected the human world and their connection to theology. Large portions of the book are also spent endorsing and promoting witch hunts. Among many things, King James is famous for commissioning the King James Bible. When King James took the throne of England, many churchmen came to him demanding that he create a new English translation of the Bible, citing that current versions were corrupt and did not match the original Hebrew. King James, being particularly religious, obliged them, and in 1611 the most popular English translation of the Bible was published. Banquo was a famous semi-historical figure whom King James often claimed to be a direct descendant of. These beliefs shines through in Shakespeare's Macbeth, where Banquo is a very important character to the story. This detail was likely included to draw King James's attention and admiration. King James was married to Anne of Denmark. They had 3 children, including James's heir, Charles I. Anne of Denmark was uniquely independent, saying no to her husband and willing to manipulate nobles for her gain. King James was one of the first major anti-smoking advocates, and he claimed that the practice was damaging to the eyes, brain, and lungs, among many other things. He imposed a 4,000% tax on all tobacco products, and when this failed to stop demand, he nationalized the entire tobacco industry. Sources and credits include Encyclopedia Britannica, Jamestown Yorktown Foundation, History Extra, Project Gutenberg, the Historical Royal Palace, and the New York Public Library. This took a very, very long time to edit and animate, so thank you all for watching.